Hey, it's Julie. Welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd jump on real quick to share a card for National Coffee Day. I am releasing this new pumpkin and spice stamp set, especially for this event, and we're going to look at how to choose colors. Now, the sentiments include pumpkin and spice makes everything nice, autumn leaves and coffee please, pumpkin please, give 'em pumpkin, and when life gives you pumpkins, make pie. So I did stamp this in a Copic friendly ink. You could use memento or whatnot. So I showed you that I'm going to use that plaid that had some muted blues and mauves for my backgrounds. So I am choosing the BG7, 8, 7, 5, 72, and 70 family to color the cup. I'm also going to stick with a muted orange color. So I used a YR18, a 16, and a YR27. And I put those darker colors around the humps of the pumpkin and leaving the round part of the front rounded part of the pumpkin the brightest. And you'll see me go over that more than once. But that YR27 is the scary dark in this color combination. Next, for the whipped cream, I am using a E42, 43, and a 41. And then for the cinnamon stick, I'm using the E49, E18, and E19. For the flowers, I'm using a muted mauve color. So I started with an RV99, 9.3, and a 9.2. I had to think about that for a second. Sorry about that. And then I use those same E42 colors for some of the foliage, like the leaves, and then I'm using a G4243 and a 46, and I'm kind of dotting that in. Now for the leaves, I'm using a Y24 and a 26, and then I bring in an R59, and then I bring in that YR16. Now for this plaid paper, I am cutting that down to 4 by 5 and a quarter. Now I'm giving you a sneak peek of a paper pack that's coming out next month. It's called Taupe Tidings, and I'm just showing you this. This looks like Christmas trees, like done in like chocolate, and then we've got some nice sparkles and some snow. And the trees, we give you the same papers twice, one in larger trees and one in smaller. And that's just so that you have some diversity in your packs as you're creating for the holidays. But again, this is not going to be to release until October, but you know, sometimes I have to give a sneak peek. Also for today, we have a today only sale of the stitched scallop border die. It is only $5. That ends Monday, September 29th at 11:59 Eastern Time. So if you want that, head to the site for that $5 sale. And that I am showing you there, I am using the scalloped border for that to make one of the layers of the card. So if you want to participate in the corporate sponsored Instagram hop, I will post that in the description box below, as well as all of the products that I'm using. But there are a bunch of companies that are part of this coffee lovers Insta hop. So you'll want to hop along and maybe win some prizes. We are giving away a $25 store voucher over on Instagram to one lucky winner. You'll see all of the prizes listed over in Instagram. So I did emboss a piece of the pebbled cardstock just to give a little bit more texture to my card. And I find that if I tilt my card base up, I'm able to get those corners straight. And then I'm using an exclusive to me only press, stamp press, but we do have what we call the Buchan, and it's a ghost pumpkin pet press that is exclusive only for October, if you want to see that on our website. I am putting down a layer of dark brown cardstock, well, because I like contrast, and I am wrapping around a piece of hemp twine, and you'll see that I used my score tape to tape that down. You could use any tape that you have, or if you have double-sided tape, double-sided foam tape, any of those things, you can definitely use that. And then I used a chevron die from my stash, and I cut that with both the brown and the layer of the marshmallow coloring cardstock that I carry in the store. And you're going to see that little stitch scallop circle. That is from our Bejeweled paper pack. It is a pearlescent paper that is exclusive for the holidays, and that comes in plum, a navy, and a like dark hunter green. And you're seeing me center that because you know I'm a centered kind of girl. I like my stuff centered here. I get out my Misty and I'm using my anti-static powder tool, and I'm treating my paper and using my Versamark. I am just using the Pumpkin Please stamp, and then I emboss that in white using my heat gun. I'm setting that, and then I trim it down using my scissors, and then I cut a little chevron. Again, all of the products are linked below. I would love it if you would give this a thumbs up. Obviously, like it, leave a comment below because that does help our algorithm, and we are trying to share our products and our love for crafting with everyone, so that lets YouTube know we're doing a good job. Here are some final looks at this project. I did add some of the new penny embellishments and some stickles to my project. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.